Hello, my name is Noah Sutter, and this is my educational autobiography. My educational story begins at Ottawa Elementary in Ottawa, Ohio, where I was with my two older brothers and eventually my younger sister. We were so much of a ruckus that they needed to build a new school when we were finally all in the same building. That same year, when I was in the 3rd grade, I found a flyer in my student mailbox inviting me to join the Cub Scouts. I was already behind the kids in my age by 2 years, but my oldest brother and my dad were both in the Cub Scouts, so I decided I'd give it a shot. I'd remain in the Cub Scouts for 2 full years until I'd advance further than both my dad and my brother by joining the Boy Scouts. Since 2014, I've been an active member of the Boy Scouts. I'd always been fascinated by the merit badges because they were just like school classes, but with real-world topics. For 4 years, I went to the Boy Scout summer camp, Camp Berry. At the same time I joined the Boy Scouts, I joined band. None of my siblings did band, but I thought I'd give it a try. Although it was a fun hobby for me, I never got super into it and I couldn't see myself making a career out of it. At the time, I thought I would do band through the 8th grade and drop it before I entered high school. In 7th grade, I joined choir. My 2 older brothers were in choir, and we all loved it. When I was in the 8th grade, I was heavily considering dropping band. Although it was fun, I couldn't see myself having a career with it. Before I quit though, I decided I would see what it was like, so I joined the high school marching band as an 8th grader. It wasn't uncommon where I'm from, but usually they only invite you to join as an 8th grader if they feel that you are really good. So I took it as a compliment and accepted the invitation. I'm glad I did, because I had a lot of fun that year and I decided to continue doing band throughout high school. After my 8th grade year, when I was 14, I applied to work at Camp Berry, the Boy Scout summer camp I had attended for 4 years as a scout. I thought it would be fun to give back to scouting, as scouting had given so much to me. I loved everything about being on staff. Instead of paying to spend a week at camp, I was being paid to spend 3 months there. The main responsibility on staff was to teach merit badges. At first, I was a little nervous for this, but I put a lot of thought into the lesson plans and prepared as best as I could, and I had a lot of fun. The students and I all got along. I got several praise cards every week from Scouts and Scoutmasters, and one troop from White Lake, Michigan, even made me an honorary member of their troop, giving me their troop t-shirt. After that first summer, I fell in love with teaching, and I just couldn't see myself doing anything else with the rest of my life. I wasn't sure what I'd teach. I was always good at math. History always intrigued me. Science would be fun to teach. Absolutely not English. I didn't know what I would teach, but I knew for sure that I'd be spending my career in a classroom. My sophomore year in high school, I had auditioned in my school's show choir. I had more fun in that class than I had any other year in choir or band. I really got to know my choir director, Mr. Ellerbrock, and he became my idol. I knew that in the future, I wanted to be like Mr. Ellerbrock. Students always came into his class and left his class with a smile. Everyone in the community loved him. He was also the one who helped me decide what I would teach: music education. At the end of my sophomore year, Mr. Ellerbrock retired, and it broke my heart. The man came into my life, inspired me, then left, leaving me with nothing but inspiration and an aspiration to be like him when I was older. Just when I thought I had everything figured out, COVID hit. Being at home and all the changes with school made me rethink being a teacher. The introduction of remote learning put an entirely different spin on teaching, and I wasn't sure if I'd be able to adapt to the changes. They canceled Boy Scout camp, and it made me think it was a sign that I wasn't supposed to teach. This dilemma couldn't have hit me at a worse time. Before my senior year, my band director, Mr. Olenek, took a leave of absence and went off to join the military. He had been the one helping me through the college process. I respected him a lot and trusted his knowledge and experience, as it seemed like he knew everyone who played any instrument within a 500-mile radius. When he left, I felt lost. I stopped enjoying band, and I even considered quitting. He was the one who I would talk to about my colleges, and I was really hoping he could help me choose which college was right for me, because he led me to a bunch of options. For a brief period, I even considered changing majors, but my passion for music was kept alive with show choir, which my little sister was now a member of. However, my major wasn't the only thing I was stressing over. Under the advice of Mr. Olenek, I applied to the following schools: Central Michigan, Kent State, Wright State, Michigan State, University of Michigan, Youngstown State, Miami, Ohio University, Indiana University, Bowling Green, and The Ohio State University. My top choice was Ohio State, and I even got accepted. It should have been a done deal. Sign me up, I'm gonna be a Buckeye. But I decided to narrow it down to the top 3 schools and audition into their music departments. The 3 schools I had chosen were Bowling Green, Ohio State, and Central Michigan. I met with the teachers, students, and alumni from each school, and after a long, hard thought, I had made my decision. Although I grew up wanting to be a Buckeye, and it took everything from me not to choose Ohio State, I ended up choosing Central Michigan. I felt that Central Michigan would best prepare me to be a teacher. I decided to give up my dream of being a Buckeye so that my future students could have the best possible teacher they deserve. So that's the story of how I became a Chippewa. Maybe after I graduate from Central Michigan, I'll go to Ohio State for my master's so I can finally live my dream of becoming a Buckeye. Thank you so much for watching.